Hello everybody, I'm Ren. Today I'm going to show you how I turned this into something much more impressive. Now, just to start off with, if you don't already have horns of your own, you can either buy them from the store or you could make them yourself. You just need some liquid latex and you just carve them out of some clay, put some plaster over the top, pull the clay out, and boom, you have a mold. Really, really simple. It's the way you make a cast of anything. And then you put the liquid latex in the mold, and then anytime you need, you have horns. A really long time ago when I took a makeup course, I made this thing here, which has a couple different things on it already, like you can see, sort of, with the light. Well, there's my horn right there, but that's the bullet hole. Some crazy squiggly lines and some dots, for some sort of fairy tale something, I don't know, and you can't really see, but there's also like some cuts and things there. Just stuff that in general you could use later. I can't tell you how many times I've needed a nice pair of horns. So today I'm going to make some weird demony sort of girl. I'm giving ghost tours. I do the Spirits of 76 ghost tour, and I'm going to be giving a tour tonight. And I just wanted to, do it all up and make it an experience people can enjoy. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is make your horns, and to get them affixed to your head, use spirit gum. Now, a lot of people always ask me how I get the edges really fine, or like how to make it look like it's actually touched your skin. This is not too bad right now. Basically, it's all about feathering on the edges. When you're using your plaster and your latex, you want to feather to the edges so it blends perfectly with your skin. Basic. Anyways, spirit gum totally works. I was anti-spirit gum for a really long time, and then I realized it's really cheap and really easy to use, so I use it all the time. Alright. Also, you may have to trim the edges. See, sometimes it happens, so, it doesn't end up in your hairline or on your eyebrows. Alright, so now that they're on, the spirit gum's all dried, I can start applying my base. Alright, so word to the wise, you want to make sure that you are not wearing something that you actually care about, because you probably will get makeup on it or powder or something. So just put on a shirt that you don't care about. Now I'm all about sanitation, so what I like to use is homemade palette knife. I buy in bulk. You take your spatula and you just pull the color that you want. So I'm thinking, I want to be kind of pinky. So I'm going to take a little bit of red. And I also kind of want to be a little brown, but not too brown. So I'm going to go with this sort of orangey color. And then I want to have some of my natural skin tone, which I don't have in this palette here. This one here. Well, not really. I like to think of myself as a creamy peach, but I'm not. Whoop, boop. All you gotta do, whoop, is mix it up. And when I'm doing makeup just for myself, or just for like one person, I'll generally just use a sea sponge. Sea sponges are great because they're reusable. You can just wash them out, and they tend to not suck up as much makeup as those little wedges, the latex wedges. But those are great if you're going to do a bunch of people all at the same time. Anyways, you're going to make your sponge kind of wet, like this. And then you can just apply it. So it doesn't really matter what color you want it to be. Don't apply a really, really thick layer, because then it's not gonna stay on your skin. So you just apply multiple layers, and just always remember that you powder in between every layer. And don't forget the rest of your face, especially if you're gonna go with a skin tone that isn't quite yours. Now I look really sunburned. A very important step that almost everybody forgets. Make sure you do your neck and do your ears. ears because people can see that part. If they're not going to see that part, not really a huge deal, but if you brush your hair behind your ear and then they see it, it totally ruins the illusion. Now you can kind of see the lines from my horns right now where they're attached to my face. A little bit better on one than the other. It might just be the lighting. Or it might just be me being crazy. Do powder. Any type of powder will work the same. Pour some powder into your hand. Take a brush, big one, nice and fluffy. Make sure it feels wonderful. And then proceed to apply a fine mist of powder to your face. And I'll get rid of that weird, greasy rubber mask, grease paint shine. It will also set the makeup. Don't forget your appliances. That's an industry term for prosthetics. And if you end up with extra powder in your hand, yay, it's snowing! So, it's a good base color, looks pretty neat, and I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start drawing in some details, meaning creating a little bit of depth and giving my face a little bit of character all by itself. Grrr, darker color. This will be your shadow. Also, if you're going for a tone like I am, say red, you want to make sure you add a little bit of red to it so it matches the rest of your skin tone. Skin tone. Get your favorite brush. And dab a little bit into your little palette. Alright, and now you can start drawing some lines. Make sure that they're even. Blend down. A lot of people will often be like, oh no, but it's not symmetrical. Well, to that I say the human face is not symmetrical. When you're trying to create a character, it's good to make funny faces to represent your character. Alright, so maybe not that last one. But you'll notice when you do things like that, you make lines in your forehead. Now I look angry, so that means that I just need to add a little bit of shadow right into those lines to make it look like I'm angry all the time. You can see I put a little on the end of my nose. I have it going up my nose and into my eyes. I also have it on both of my cheekbones, right underneath my cheekbones, in my temples, and I even did some on my chin to give me a more defined chin. Just make me a little bit more angular in general because I'm not a very angular person typically. I also did my lips. The next thing that I would like to do is I need to highlight everything, meaning for every shadow that I made, I need to come up with 2 brighter colors to make everything pop. Once again, I'm mixing some colors together to give it a more matchy sort of feel. Next, you want to take a different brush. Not my favorite brush, but you definitely want to make sure that you have a different one for your highlight and your shadow, otherwise it's going to look all messy and gross. The pink and the white. And basically anywhere that you see a shadow, I'm going to do one on top and one on bottom. Or, well, vice versa. So now you can see where I've highlighted things, how it makes everything look. It's alright. So, I told you there are some ways to conceal this at the top, and mostly what that consists of is making your skin look mottled. You just take your used brown brush, like so, and just go kind of like this. And just remember, anytime you do your shadow, make sure you use a highlight. So stipple with that highlight too. Alright, so now you can see the lines are a little bit better masked on my appliances. And I'm going to powder one more time before I start working on painting my horns. So you can kind of see, probably, possibly, maybe, it's not quite as intense as it was before. That's another thing you want to remember whenever you're using powder, is it's going to calm the color down a it. And it'll make it not quite so liney or unnatural looking. It sort of softens all the edges. And this is all pretty easy. You just want to paint your horns. Alright, so almost totally painted. Almost. And don't forget to powder. It's just like your skin. Except it's not. Now I'm going to use this teeny tiny brush and do a few extra little details on my horns. Alright, so this is what I got so far. My eyes are pretty much the only thing left to do. So I'm going to do those and then we'll be all done. So for eyeshadow, I'm going to use some of this gold glitter stuff. Make me look a little magical. There's my shimmery gold eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to use my eyeliner, Urban Decay, best eyeliner in the world, 24/7, zero black. If you're worried about sanitation, just make sure you use a pencil sharpener. It'll take off the top layer and it'll be sanitary again. Alright, so now my eyes are in line, and then for one of the final touches, mascara, again, Urban Decay, best makeup in the world. And there you have it. I am now a sexy, scary demon.